Okay, let's go.
Got the feeling that it's not gonna work out. I got the feeling.
Hey guys, and welcome to my new Vlogmas video. So this is the 23rd video on my channel for Vlogmas 2018. Unfortunately, I have lost some of the footage that I did with Sarah Kellysen, so the interview is pretty much just going to be her talking, and the questions that I'm going to have asked are going to be put on the screen, otherwise the interview will make absolutely no sense. So I do hope you enjoyed this video, and if you do, don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe, and there will be a new video coming out tomorrow. So until then, bye bye.
Well, I've been a YouTuber for about 11 years or so, and you know, I started out just doing like sort of like vlogging. I was big on RuneScape. I played RuneScape like 24/7 when I was like 12 years old, and I saw people who did RuneScape music videos where they would just take songs of like pop music and they would like use the game and like do the dancing emotes and stuff. It was a lot of fun, and I would just upload those, and I would record them on Hypercam too. So it was really high technology at the time. But then at times I had a RuneScape clan, and I wanted people to join my RuneScape clan because I wanted to have the biggest RuneScape clan there was. And it was like this whole thing, and it was a lot of fun. And then I kind of moved. I would record myself just advertising that and stuff, and then I would do all these like small commercial sort of things. Like I would make commercials on Mentos, on how happy leap year everyone, why leap year should be a celebration. I did that in 2008, and then I was also big on acting. I did a lot of acting training throughout my primary school years and stuff. So then I got into that, and then I started doing internet series through YouTube on Dracoloid, Diaries of Alice's Bedroom in Arctic, which I'm still doing Arctic to this day. And then I did a bunch of internet films and stuff, and then it led to the music videos, and it led one thing after another, and I've had all these amazing opportunities that in the past couple of years to really, I think I really came in at a good time, because I came when it first started and when the internet was just coming up, so I really understand. I really had like 11 years of training just to get better at what I love to do, and I've always wanted to be an entertainer, so it's a dream come true. YouTube has really made that possible for so many people. Well, like I said, I came from really early YouTube, so I was inspired by a lot of LGBTQ YouTubers because they were so themselves back then, and it wasn't as commercialized, so you would really get the true authentic self. I was also a big Britney Spears fan, so I really liked Chris Crocker, so and he's a true pioneer for any LGBTQ YouTuber on this platform, honestly, because he was the first truly publicized YouTuber ever. So he truly paved the way for so many YouTubers to come in the future, because I remember him being on like MTV and stuff, and you know, on the news. He was on Maury, I remember, years ago. He really paved the way, and then I began getting into more. I'm glad that there's more like artistic, sort of these contemporary. I consider Poppy, I love her videos. She's very interesting, and she's a contemporary artist in my opinion. She doesn't need to say much, she just does a little at a time, and I think those are the best type of YouTubers. She has her own unique style. And you know, that's what I think those are what the best YouTubers are. They're not trying to blend in, they're doing something totally different. And I really appreciate someone like her doing that in this YouTube climate, you know? Especially when things are so commercialized, you know, taking your diversity and making it a brand itself is really impressive in my opinion. Oh, that's... that is really hard, because the thing is, I go through phases. Like, I'm not the type of person that can just stick with one thing. It's all led to one thing after another. I would probably, like, because I've done so many different videos, Like, it's hard to, and then the thing is, like, lately I've been doing more music, but I've also been doing, like, filming Arctic and stuff, and we're filming 5th season, so it's, like, comedy YouTube. Oh, that is just a hit on a nail. Like, that, you just really hit me there. I don't know if I could really pick a specific video. I guess just, I love vlogging and talking, like, because I do weekend chats on my YouTube channel where I just talk about what's been going on for my week. I like doing that, so I think I could see me doing that for the rest of my life as well. Like, and I really like talking, and on there we talk about I talk about different topics and stuff, so I like talking about what's going on in current events with the YouTube climate and other aspects of the world. Vlogging is where I started out at, technically. So that's where it all begun, and that's where the foundation of YouTube really comes from. So I guess that if I had to pick one, it would probably be like a vlogging style type of videos more so. Well, I started years ago, like back like 5 years ago. I was finishing my other show, Diaries of Alice's Bedroom, at the time. It was in its last season. And this was right before I started Arctic, really. And I was told by, like, the producer, like, would you like to sing? We did a musical episode in our last season. And the producer and the writers of that show, which are the same for Arctic, and they asked me, would you be interested in being a singer? And would you be able to sing, like, this song specifically? And I was given a pop song called Stars for Life, which is on my channel because I celebrated it 5 years. And I just sang it, and I went in, and it was a lot of fun, and then we began recording a soundtrack for it. So I recorded quite a few songs for that, and then that released in 2013. I think, I knew from a very young age, because I was the type of person that would always dress in the opposing gender of who I am. So it was just me. I knew at like 3 or 4, to be honest with you. Like, I knew at a young age that I already knew how I was at a young age. And why I came out was because I wanted to show people who I truly am. Because before, like I said, I was on 2 shows where I played a full female character for years, and I played female characters on other shows prior to that. It was a very transphobic climate, I would say, and homophobic climate on YouTube back in those days. When I started, it was a much different thing. You'd be considered like a total joke, and I didn't think anyone would take me seriously, which is why I went out like this for so long as a full female. It was just Sarah the female, and I would have boobs and everything, and so I decided to come out because I was tired of hiding, pretty much. And I was like, this is the perfect time. I'm old enough. The YouTube climate is not the same as it once was, and it's time. It's a good time, I think, to do so, even though some people still consider me legitimately as a joke. This is who I am, and now it's able to be taken in serious context now. I think, yeah, a lot of people classify me as drag, which I'm really not, I would say, because there's a difference between drag, cross-dresser, and, like, gender fluid. It's like there's like a whole spectrum of that I can go on for like an hour about, but those people really don't know, I think, what they're talking about, because drag is a different thing. It's a whole performance aspect. I definitely don't wear drag makeup because my makeup is not like overdone like a drag queen, and drag queens, they're an art piece, really, in many ways, because they wear costumes that are not like things you really would walk out in. Even though I do more like a subtle everyday sort of drag, if we were going to talk about it in that sense, because I can go out like this and I can blend in. When people are talking about drag, you're standing out more so, and you're performing, which is a different thing. Here I'm not always performing, so right now this is me being casual and me just chilling out. I definitely don't do the drag makeup, so. And even when I'm doing like my performance work, like my live sessions and stuff, that's not totally dragged either. I would say, because I'm not like, they also do, there's a whole culture for that where they lip sync to pop songs, and I have my own music, so that's what I'm doing. There's definitely a huge misconception with it, for sure. There's people who don't understand these types of people, and I think even within the community itself, there are people that in my city, personally, from experience, like a lot of homosexual men don't even understand it as well. I think there needs to be more education on that, and the only way people can be educated is if there is more gender fluid people on YouTube and on television and in the media. And that's what I'm trying to break ground in right now. I do try to make that. Like I said, I do that on Arctic with the topics. So that's where I do it, because that's on a platform that has a more general audience. Whereas me, it's a very, like, I already have a lot of LGBTQ related YouTubers, so they know who I am. So from time to time I do that. Through my music, I'm more inspired to do it there right now. That's where I think it truly shows. I have I have a song called Open Up Your Heart, which is about, you know, trying to look at things with more clear eyes, you know, and trying to be accepting of all people. And that's what that song's all about. So I try to, right now, I guess the LGBTQ related content wouldn't be so much on my YouTube, but more so off my YouTube, where it's on my music lately. The thing is, like, I feel like it's so developed right now, and I do hope to do more educational videos on gender fluid people in the future, but for now it's in the music, because I want to be an LGBTQ artist for LGBTQ related songs, because there's not much of that out there. So I think that's a lot of my songs have to do with those types of themes. I think especially with the political climate, I guess, and like the YouTube climate right now, we need to be more upfront about it, I think. And there's a lot of issues where people have been scared to talk about it. I know a lot, they don't want to make that the whole thing of their channel, but, you know, I think it's very important to speak out, especially small YouTubers like us who are part of that community need to be more upfront about it in order for there to be change. And I have a life of my own. I'm sick of being addicted to this damn phone, and I just wanted to, you know, get away from everything for a week, and it was so refreshing. It was one of the most refreshing weeks ever, because I was like waking up every day saying that, like, you know, there was a time where I didn't have a phone. What did I do then that really just, like, when I didn't have a phone, what did I truly do? So I began finding stuff to do, and I began living like a real normal adult for a week, because I was like cooking. I was learning to cook. I was cleaning. I interacted with more people in my house and stuff, because like our fence builder and stuff, I was interacting with him a lot, and I really loved talking to him, and I learned so much during that week. And I was cooking every day, and I you know, I felt like a true adult for once, and I felt like I had a life of my own outside this phone, and it was so nice not being on social media, not dealing with the YouTube controversy and, like, you know, all that sort of stuff. So it was refreshing. They really aren't checking. They're cherry picking who they're really cherry picking who they're gonna pick on, and they pick on LGBTQ YouTubers specifically. And I don't care what anyone says, it's a fact. It's very obvious as well. And because the thing is, my hour watch time suspiciously went down over the past month. I have really high views on some of my videos, and I'm like, how is this even possible that I don't have 100 hours of watch time? They are just, and I called bullshit on it. And I really just said it for how it is. And then I began taking screenshots a while back, and I posted what they were sending me, because I was reporting it and stuff, because some of my videos got flagged for no reason. And there was this one other podcast that I was on in the small YouTube community with Point 5 with Tyler Gibbler, where he said that the video that they flagged of mine wasn't even inappropriate, like in any context. It wasn't even that sexual, and they were just that was a pick on Sarah sort of day. Pick on this small LGBTQ YouTuber because she doesn't have a voice, because she doesn't matter, and she's not welcome on this platform. That's what I read that as. They don't want to admit to their transphobic, homophobic agenda that they have going on. They have a very discriminatory agenda. It's been going on. I've kind of known about it for years, but it's now just showing more so. And I do believe it has a bit to do with the political climate in the States as well. They are an American-based, company. So that's where it's coming from. And I think they're not afraid to show that now. So it's just exposing what they've always really been on the inside. So they need, you know what they need? They need someone who is pro-LGBTQ on their administration panel. Because I think they don't have that. That's what I'm getting from this. Because it's targeted towards a younger audience, right? So parents are watching as well. And we had a religious group that complained about it, and they were hating on the video. And it was like a group, and they to the point where we had to remove all the comments, and now it's at 0 comments because it was getting so hated. And ever since then, I know YouTube has been watching us. There was also an episode that we dealt with transphobia, violence. That got completely flagged, where it was not allowed to be posted at all. And it was a very important message, I felt. So with the one we did for our season finale, which was about one of the characters coming out of the closet fully and we actually kind of were indirecting at YouTube about conversion therapy centers, about how those don't really work, and how there's a reason why there's a huge ban for it, because the suicide rate is really high for that. We didn't say anything about the title, we didn't give anything about the plot away, and then we posted it. We have to be sneaky about it in some senses. And that's what people are doing more often, so because of that. But something else, like this is not a new thing. Chris Crocker specifically, I remember this has been going on since the beginning of YouTube though, because I remember he would be excluded from things that YouTube would do. You would see all the main YouTubers at things like YouTube Live back in 2008. They were all invited, he wasn't. So, and you would never see, and Matthew Lush was pretty big back then, even though I'm not the biggest fan of him, but but that's for personal reasons. And he quit YouTube, Chris Crocker specifically, because of the LGBTQ hate on here from both the administration and the people. So it's quite sad when someone from the community quits, because I think it's important to stand strong and just be fight against it as much as you can. And I encourage anyone in the small YouTube community, I always tell this to anyone who is LGBTQ YouTuber, to be listen, I'm so glad you're here. Please stay with us. Don't quit. We can win against this. We just have to keep showing that we're there. I want to be viewed as someone who's a game changer, who is progressive, who took risks at a time when people like myself were not accepted, and to really break that ground. And I hope that at the end of the day, I am a game changer with that in some way, in some form. I hope that it's, and I hope other people are influenced by me in that sort of way to be able to come forward. I think that's what I'm happy doing, and that's why I keep creating stuff and creating content. That's why I'm still here after literally 11 years doing this, and why I'm becoming a gallery artist and working my way into bigger and better things that will hopefully impact the world in the future. Thank you. We're gonna cut that out because I didn't have the answers really ready, but I had some of them, like, I didn't have them written down. I was just like, look at the questions. So I was like, I know I can just say what I'm saying on the spot.